raise your hand if you have gotten your Raspberry Pi in the mail. Raise your hand if you have gotten it and you're looking at it and it's right in front of you.
And or seeds. You can use potato, melon seeds, wheat seeds, oak saplings, vines, potatoes. I think I may have already said potatoes. You can actually use poisonous potatoes as well, carrots, loads of different.
All right, how about you close out the potatoes, Mr. Coleman, and tell me whether you got the Raspberry Pi.
Which is crafted simply by 1 flint, 1 iron, and 2 sticks. And you will get this amazing green bucket of chlorophyll. So it's basically just the green.
Mr. Coleman, close the chlorophyll.
Plus the bucket and the whittling knife will craft into this. And you're going to need some of this to make a really cool infused sapling, which is the tree. You're going to need to harvest the resources to make these totem poles. So the way you need it to work is you're going to need 4...
Mr. Coleman, close the chlorophyll.
So if we put 1 in there, 1 in there, 1 in there, and 1 in there. Also going to need some water.
Mr. Isaiah, did you get your Raspberry Pi in the mail today? Awesome. All right. Since Mr. Coleman's doing chlorophyll, we're kind of wondering, scared why Mr. Coleman's looking up chlorophyll. All right. So, cool. Everybody has a Raspberry Pi, so let's kind of get started with it here. First up, to answer Miss Ianna's questions and so everybody can kind of figure out what I was talking about, because y'all can't see what Miss Ianna was asking me. The Raspberry Pi is its own computer itself. That is a computer. All right, that thing that you have in there is its own computer with its own unique operating system. So there's no hooking up to Windows 8, no doing anything like that. No, you just hook it up to a monitor. But that's going to be kind of a tricky part here, and I'm going to try to walk you through it. So let's get started. First up, if you don't have your Raspberry Pi out, go ahead and get it out. And this is what it should look like. This is your Raspberry Pi. Again, as I said, this thing is its own unique style of computer. All right, it has its own unique features and stuff like that. It's going to allow you, and similar to an Arduino, and you can even program an Arduino with a Raspberry Pi. It has these little I/O pins here. Yep, take it out of the bag. If it's still in the bag, take it out. So you got these own little unique. You have your I/O pins or your in and out pins, just the same, similar to what you have with the Arduino, except for in this case we only have you have male connectors here. You don't have as many as you had in the Arduino. And actually, I just thought about something. Hang on 1 second here. That's going to be a problem for what I had in mind for next class. Okay. There's a piece of tape on the bottom middle plug thing. Bottom middle plug thing. Oh, yeah, take that off. You talking about right here, Miss Ianna? To the right a little. Here? Okay, yeah. You can just take that. Well, that's going to be your HDMI input, so depending on what type of connection you're going to have here. So we're going to work through that here in a little bit here. Now, the setup for this is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to. You're used to kind of hooking things up to the computer you're listening to me on and doing stuff that way. But the Raspberry Pi is going to create an interesting challenge for both you and I. So let's kind of go ahead and get started with it. First up, do not hook anything up until I tell you to. All right, do not hook anything up until I tell you. Let's look at the components of the Raspberry Pi Model B. On the bottom side of it, on the very bottom, you want to have where you can slide your SD card that came with you, or she came in the package with it. All right, so you can actually go ahead and plug that SD card in the bottom. And that's what that is going to do. It's going to act like your hard drive. All right, that is your hard drive. So your hard drive. Okay, so go ahead and plug that up. Now, just to the right of that here, you see the power. All right, you see the power here, and you have two different options when it comes to video, or video and audio, I should say. You have what's called the HDMI, and you have what's called the old school RCA video and audio connectors here. All right, and here we have a LAN connection, which is if your router is close enough to Miss Sienna. Miss Beth wants to know if your tape is orange. Square piece orange tape stuff. Yeah, yes it is, she said, Miss Beth. Yeah, you can take that off. LAN connection, which is for your wired internet connection, and your USB port, which, again, don't plug anything in here because we're going to have to kind of work through that one together here. What's this? Okay. So, some of y'all might not know what I was talking about when I was saying HDMI and RCA. All right, so here is an HDMI connector. It's going to depend on what type of monitor you're going to hook it up to. So let me go through the connectors first, then I'll talk about the monitors. All right, so you have usually an HDMI to HDMI connector, which is what I got mine hooked up to. You have an HDMI to DVI lead, which this is used to hook it up to like an old computer monitor. And then you have the RCA composite video connector. Now this is like the old school TVs with the big vacuum tubes and stuff like that. You can hook it up that way. So let's talk about some of the other stuff you're going to actually need. This is kind of a little bit out of order here, so kind of bear with me. I'll get us there. So one of the other things you're going to need is you're going to need what's called a micro USB cable. All right, and this will be the same thing that usually powers an Android phone. It's the same cable that would power a PS3 controller. I think PS2 as well. But it's Android phone, and it needs to be micro USB to USB. So that's going to be... Okay, so yeah, Miss Bev's has RCA. All right, so that's going to be, first up, you're going to need that. That's going to provide your power. Second up, you're going to need a spare keyboard and mouse. All right, so it can be wired and it can be wireless. Be careful with the wireless because from what I have heard and actually have already seen is it likes to do phantom strokes with the wireless. But so you're going to need a spare keyboard and mouse. All right, and you're going to need a HDMI, or not HDMI, you're going to need a micro USB cable. So that's going to be two things you should have. And everybody should have, if you don't have this stuff like on hand, your neighbor has an old keyboard or mouse, somebody. All right, so everybody who had more than 2 or 3 computers, there's an old keyboard and mouse somewhere. The HDMI cable, like I said, that's used to hook up Android phones, PS3s. Okay, go ahead. So I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to go get those few stuff here. I'm gonna just be quiet while y'all go find it. Raise your hand when you have the above stuff mentioned. Go ahead, Miss Sienna. Go ahead, Miss. I think Beth says, yeah, my family does too, but it also has HDMI, USB, etc. Okay. Not really, no. Mr. David asked, would an old laptop work as a spare keyboard? No. You need to be able to plug it. It needs to have a USB, at least a USB connection onto it. Hang on, Mr. Coleman finally decided to come in. Okay, well, if it has a actual... No, all right, let me clarify here. You're saying you have an old laptop, but you need to be able to directly plug in your laptop or the keyboard to the Raspberry Pi. Should work, Miss Beth. But your video did, that I was listening to when I unmuted you, Mr. Coleman. Let me see if this is... Can you hear me now, Mr. Coleman? I'm talking. All right. I see the last question, Miss Sienna. There's a few other questions here. The OS stopped working. Does that count? You're talking about the operating system on your laptop. Is that... Let me unmute you, Mr. David. David, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're talking about you have an old laptop that the OS is not working. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah. You're going to need to have a keyboard that you can physically plug in the Raspberry Pi. Or a wireless one can work too. Okay, so I don't think an old laptop will quite work, but you might be able to use it for the monitor, though, Mr. David. So let me hang on. There's a few other questions here. Can you hear me now, Mr. Coleman? Okay, yeah, you just missed like half the class. I heard your video when I unmuted you. All right, so Mr. Coleman had technical issues. I'll let him slide this once. All right, so Mr. Coleman, do you have your Raspberry Pi? Awesome. Okay, so you need a micro USB cable, which is what I got on the screen right now. All right, a micro USB cable and a spare keyboard and mouse. That's the three things. So yeah, there's only three things I've told you to get so far, Miss Deanna. There you go. Okay, so while he's working on that, the next thing you're going to need is, again, don't start hooking things up yet. Don't start hooking things up yet, except for the SD card, which I already told you to do. The next thing you're going to need is a monitor. And it can be an old TV. It can be it might be able to be an old computer, depending on The setting it has. Where's my old laptop? I can't find that thing right now. So you needed some type of monitor. All right, cause think of it like this. Can I use my, Miss Cena is asking if she can use her Windows 8 laptop. All right, so maybe, but here's the thing: you can, but you're going to probably need a HDMI to DVI lead. You got to look on the side of your laptop there and see if you have another video plugin. Some laptops do, some don't. So I don't know the answer to that question. There you go, Mr. Coleman got lucky. Okay, Miss Beth asked, "Do I need to use a different computer from one I am on now?" Yes, because the Raspberry Pi is a computer by itself. You need to be listening to me and seeing what I'm doing on one computer, and then your Raspberry Pi is a separate computer. Does that make sense, Miss Beth? Mr. Coleman, you still here? It says you're offline. Oh, there you are. Okay. All right. Another laptop can work, but it has to have a separate video input. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can find my old laptop. It's not really an old laptop. Rarely uses it. It's fried the motherboard. I'll be right back, y'all. 1 second. What's Isaiah? I can't find my old laptop, but to answer the question is, can you use another laptop? Yes, you can, as long as it has some type of DVI lead going into it. All right, and that's this is what I'm talking about here. Something like this that you can plug into. There's different styles. It's not always like exactly like this one, but there's different styles of it. But if you do use that, then you're going to need a HDMI to DVI lead. So let's okay. So there you go. So Max has raised his hand that he has everything. All right. So give me kind of like what you have, or actually let me know what you don't have right now. That'd be the first question. Okay. Hang on. So only thing you don't have is a spare keyboard and mouse, David?
Yeah.
You have the monitor, HDMI cables, all that fun stuff?
Not an HDMI cable.
Or an RCA cable in a monitor?
Yeah, I got an RCA cable.
Okay, like what are you listening to me on right now?
A desktop.
Desktop. So a short-term solution to this will be you can actually use the keyboard and mouse that's on your desktop.
Hmm.
But the downside of that is going to be you can't. It's going to be harder for you to communicate with me with. So I'm just giving you your options, or you can go ask your parents see if there's not a spare keyboard around. Some people have them in their closet and they forget about them.
Okay.
So might have a spare keyboard and mouse somewhere. All right, so Mr. Coleman, do you have everything? Do you have a monitor, a cable to hook it up, spare keyboard and mouse, and a micro USB? Awesome and awesome, Miss Sienna. Okay, so who have I heard from? I haven't heard from Isaiah lately. What's going on, Isaiah? Isaiah, how you doing? That's right. I keep forgetting you don't have a mic. Everybody has a messy cable bucket. I got a cable box of just random cables. I see you, Mr. Coleman. Hang on. What's up, Mr. Coleman? Mr. Coleman.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, sorry, I actually muted myself. All right. Do I need to be able to hook the mouse and the keyboard up to the monitor, or is there like a?
We're gonna hook it up to like all right. We're gonna hook it up to like all right. Hang on, man. I got to echo. Do we have is the keyboard and mouse you're going to use both wired? Mr. Coleman?
Yes, they are.
Okay, yeah. So we're not going to hook that up to the monitor because you don't hook up your keyboard and mouse to your monitor and the computer works. You hook up your keyboard and monitor up to your computer. That's what the Raspberry Pi is. We're going to hook it up to that, but we're going to hook it up a certain way, especially because you got a wired one. Okay, Miss Bell. Miss Sienna, how you coming?
I think I got everything except the cord. No, the lead, sorry. And
This?
yes.
So you got the micro USB one and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're looking for the cord now, right?
Dad knows where it is. He's gonna get it.
Okay, sweet. So Max, you have everything. You're good to go, right? Mr. Max.
Yes?
You have everything. You're good to go, right?
Yeah, I have everything.
All right. The keyboard and mouse you're going to use, is it wired or wireless?
Wired.
Okay. So hang on one second here. All right. I'm going to wait on Mr. Coleman, or not Mr. Coleman. Wait on Miss Beth to come back. I will go through the setup for people that have everything, and then I'm not going to do too much until I'm sure everybody's hooked up. So we might not actually do anything with the actual stuff tonight. So when Miss Beth comes back online, I'll go through the setup. For people that don't have everything, don't worry about it. I will go back through it, and we'll see what we can work out. Yeah, I've been missing Mr. Will. Thanks for letting me know. Just make sure you rub it in his face how much cool stuff we've been doing, Mr. Coleman. Make up stuff too. Tell him I've taught you how to hack the NSA. That was sarcasm, Mr. Isaiah. I probably should not have said that online. They're probably watching me now. They do use AES ciphers. How do you know they use AES ciphers? Oh yeah, that's right. Or is it something? I don't think it's AES. It's something. A cipher. No, they use the. I can't remember. Oh, sweet. Now you got me curious while I'm waiting here. Is Beth, you back yet? Wait, that's not random. That's actual code. What is this here? If get set size less than or equal to in group size, using the pointers here, pointer to in groups equals get set size, which you're using here. Try pressing Control 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 2, 3. Oh, hey, I got granted. Awesome. What did I get access granted to? Can I? Miss Bev, can I post this story for everybody? I mean, not Miss Beth, Miss Sienna. All right, I gotta send this to. I wish I make $1 million a second. I'm not sure what's going on here. Export symbol groups free. It'd be really something if I was typing that fast. Okay, cool website. We'll have to check that out later. Okay, so Miss Beth, are you back yet? Miss Beth is not back. Somebody said something before Miss Sienna. Hang on. Somebody's back. Nope, not Miss Beth yet. All right. Go on, hold up here. Actually, I'm going to give her like 2 more minutes. If she's not back, I'm going to go ahead and go on here. All right, while we're waiting, I'll be right back, y'all. I got to go get some. Crap. All right, couldn't find it. All right. So raise your hand if you have everything in front of you right now. Like if you have keyboard, mouse, monitor, connector, and the micro USB. Mr. David, did your parents have a monitor or keyboard or mouse? All right, here's the solution to that, right? Without spending money. One of your neighbors, somebody has a keyboard or mouse. I guarantee it. All right, it's sitting in the closet somewhere. Or I went to Walmart just to check the prices of them. They're about $25 for the set. All right, actually I saw some cheaper than that, but don't go too much cheaper than that. Do you have the monitor? Do you have the cables? The cable to hook up the monitor? And I'm talking to you, Mr. David. All right. What about the micro USB cord? That's a macro USB cord that came in the package. You're going to need a separate micro USB cord. All right, Mr. Isaiah, or not Isaiah? Yeah, Isaiah, what are you missing? Okay, so put your hand up then so I'll know you got everything. Alright, so David's missing keyboard and monitor. Now, again, Mr. David, you do have the option of taking the keyboard and mouse off the desktop you're on. Alright, and then I will just like randomly unmute you at times just to make sure you're doing alright. So you do have that option. Again, you might want to ask your parents about that though, just so you can get the Raspberry Pi up and start playing with it tonight. And Miss Sienna, are you still waiting? Okay. Do you have, if you have a big box of cables, more than likely you have an RCA component video in there. Do you have like a TV, like a small TV, an old school TV? Should I watch that, Mr. Coleman? All right, I'm waiting on Miss Sienna. She's checking. Hopefully, maybe she has another monitor. Let's see what this is. I am not going to watch that during class. I will put that over here to watch after class. All right, here comes Miss Beth. All right, so what's going on with you, Miss Beth?
I to give my Raspberry Pi a separate computer from the one I was using for the webinar, I had to plug it into the one I was using for the webinar. When I went over to the other computer to get onto the webinar, it won't let me on. It keeps wanting me to register, and I've registered for the webinar several times, and it won't let me on.
All right, let's try something here. Let me send you an invitation, Miss Beth.
Would you want me to use Ebony?
What's that?
Yeah, don't send it to my email. I'm gonna put a different email in the box for you to send it to.
So don't send it to that girl?
Yeah.
Okay. Send it to...
No.
There you go. All right, we got 3 people patiently waiting here. So let me kind of walk through. Miss Beth, you weren't online. I was saying I was going to walk through the setup for people that had it ready, and then I'm not doing anything until I'm sure everybody's on the same page. So don't have to worry about if you're going to miss anything. I'm going to go back to it. All right. So for those of you that are waiting here, let's kind of go through this. So what I'm doing, Miss Beth, is I'm going to go through the setup for those people that are waiting and have everything. Don't worry if you're not on the same page. I know I'm not going to do anything until I'm sure everybody's on the same page. I'm just going through the setup for people that had it ready. So if yours is not ready, don't worry about it. We'll probably already plan on doing this somewhat again next class. So you'll be all right. So just ignore me for a few minutes here. All right. So for those of y'all that have everything, again, you plug in your SD card into the bottom. That's step 1. All right. Do not plug the power in yet. Do not plug power up in any shape, way, or form until I tell you to. So that's the key, main thing, number 1. All right. Number 2. Go ahead and hook in whichever component to your video. All right. Which, if you're using HDMI, go ahead and hook in your HDMI to your monitor. Make sure your monitors are, of course, plugged in. All right. You plug in your monitor. All right. Or RCA. That's step 2. All right. So step 3 gets to be kind of tricky here. So we sent you a hub. All right, this is a USB hub. All right, this is actually powering your Raspberry Pi. Do not do this step yet. Do not, that's my finger. Do not do this step yet. All right, but you can plug this side in the USB port in. Just don't plug it into the Raspberry Pi yet. All right. So your next thing I want you to do after that is ignore that. Is not that. Don't do that. I see you, Mr. Coleman. Give me a second.
I'm with it.
What? I see you,
Okay,
Miss Beth. If you want, Coleman, Mr. Coleman, hold on. Miss Beth, hang on one second. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Coleman.
Alright, so where exactly do we plug in the HDMI to the Arduino? I don't see any.
It's a Pi.
Oh, wait, found it. It's really weird.
Okay. Had a little orange tape or something like that on there, right? All right, so what's up, Miss Beth?
I clicked on the link in the email you sent, and it brought up the registration for the webinar, and I registered, and then it verified my webinar ID, and then wanted me to register again.
And you're doing that on the second computer, right?
Yeah.
And that computer is hooked up to a router? Both of them?
Yep.
Try logging off of here, then logging back on that side. It might be because there's two.
Okay, well, sorry, what was that last part?
Try log off of here and then go back in and try to log on.
Okay.
All right. So and then I'll stay online until you get back, Miss Beth. So don't worry about it. No, I'm be pushing for time here. All right. So where was I at? Okay, you have the monitor hooked up. All right. So the hub now. First up, it has a power jack. Y'all should be able to figure out how to plug in the power. On one side of it, I want you to plug in your wired keyboard and mouse. Your wired keyboard and mouse. Now, on that cord that came with that hub, on the cord that came with the hub, you're gonna plug that one in. Actually, right here. Again, not power yet. No power yet. Alright, so you can plug that cord that came with the hub in right here. Alright, and then the other side is going to go and put it in the bottom one too. Bottom, right there. Alright. So let me walk through this one more time here because I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. SD card plugged in, 1. All right, let me get another color. This is 1. Make sure your SD card is plugged in. 2. Make sure your monitor is plugged up. 3. Plug in your wired keyboard and mouse to your hub. That's a 3. This step is step 4. All right, plug in that cord that came with the hub, right, to here. Now, step 5 is going to be right here. Again, here. And the way we're going to, here, let me see if I got a picture of it. Give me 1 second. Here we go. And step 5 is going to be the wireless dongle that we sent you, which is right here. All right, so it's a little small, tiny thing. It goes right there. All right. So once you have SD card 1, monitor 2, keyboard and mouse 3, again, make sure your hub is plugged up and powered. All right, I didn't mention that one, but we'll make that 4. 4. All right, this is 5. 5 is here. Here, this is 5. This is 6. All right, and once you have all that, then you can give it power. Awesome, Miss Beth. Give me 1 second, Miss Beth. And give me 1 second, Mr. Coleman. I see your hand. Okay. So, again, that's SD card, monitor, the mouse and keyboard. Power the hub. All right, 5, and then this. That's 6. Then this is 7. Power is 7. Power. Okay. Who flashed first? I think it was Beth. Sorry. All right. What's up, Miss Beth?
I've got my Raspberry Pi hooked up to the computer I was just on, and I finally got on the webinar with the second computer, and I was wondering if there's anything I needed to do.
All right. Do you have your? Can you turn me down a little bit? All right.
How about that?
Let me see. Perfect. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Do you have a keyboard and mouse?
Yes. They're plugged into the computer that the Raspberry Pi is in.
That's okay. All right. So do you have that monitor not the computer, that monitor is plugged into the Raspberry Pi, right?
Sorry, what was that?
Wherever you have your Raspberry Pi, you have that plugged into a monitor, right? Your Raspberry Pi is plugged into a monitor. Is that a true statement?
The Raspberry Pi is plugged into another computer. I assume it's going to the monitor.
Okay, so you have like an HDMI to DVI cable, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, if you have a keyboard, okay, if your Raspberry Pi is plugged into so here, let me do this. This is a keyboard. This is a really crappy screen. So the way I'm understanding what you're saying, this is Pi. All right, so you have this plugged in here, right?
Can you hold on just a minute?
Sure. Let me come. I'm done with Mr. Coleman though, since he touched his hand. All right, what's up, Mr. Coleman?
Okay, I didn't fully understand. What was number 6?
Number 6 is that wire. You got like a little. It's similar to a wireless thing for a keyboard and mouse, but it's a Wi-Fi one. It should.
Oh, is that thing? Okay, yeah.
It's plug that in.
Okay, and yeah, well, I didn't know what it was, so I haven't plugged it in yet. So I suppose then this hub is to have enough, so I have enough things to be able to plug this into.
Exactly. But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Like we planned this with. I will in 1 second, Miss Beth. We planned this with the idea that not everybody was going to be close enough to a router. So that's why we sent you the wireless dongle here. If you're close enough to a router, you can plug in a Cat5 here and hook it directly up to the internet versus using Wi-Fi. So you got two options there, and which one you use is up to you. Cat5 is like Cat5 is what you hook up to the internet with. That's how the NSA spies on you. Right there. That's Cat5. All right. So, Miss Beth, here, I'm the. Oh, here. Let me unmute you here. Hang on 1 second. I'll be back to you, Miss Beth. Miss Ian, did you find the cord and get it set up, or are you still waiting?
I'm hooked up to a TV, which is probably going to be pretty cool because it's not a tiny TV.
Yeah, mine's hooked up to a 50-inch, actually, so mine's pretty cool. So you're hooked up to a TV. Do you have a keyboard and mouse?
Yes.
So did you power it
I've
up?
gotten to step 4.
Step 4. Okay, let me... Okay, I will go back over all of them. Yeah, mine's hooked up to a 50-inch. All right. So, Miss Beth, I want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So you have a laptop, right? This is the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and you have the Pi. So you're saying you got an HDMI cable hooked up from here to here. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a keyboard, like not this keyboard, but another keyboard?
Yes, I have an external keyboard on the computer that the Raspberry Pi is in.
Okay, and that external keyboard is going to have to be plugged in to the Raspberry Pi, not to that computer.
Okay.
Understand?
I missed that part.
Okay, so that's going to be
Should I plug the external mouse into the Pi too?
yes, and I'm about to go through all those steps one more time here. So let me kind of go over this. TV is, but all right. So step 1 is SD card. All right, that's step 1. Step 2 is monitor. Step 2 is the monitor. Plug in the monitor, however which way it is, you do it. All right. Step 3 is, I'm going to say, get this hub out and power it. Power just the hub. 3 is power the hub. No, I'm just going to use POW. All right, step 3. Step 4 is plug in your keyboard and your mouse, which is right here. This is key mouse. One is plug in SD card. All right. One is the SD card that we sent you. All right. It has certain little things on that you're going to need to use, certain little programs. All right. So that's one needs to be plugged in here, and you see it here. All right. 2 again is monitors. 2 is monitors. All right. However, which way you decide to do that. All right. 3 is powering the hub. 4 is plug in your keyboard and your monitor to your hub. And this is 5. In your hub, you got a macro USB. There's micro, macro, and then USB. All right. That's going to go here. All right. And all the way around to the bottom here. Bottom. So this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, don't power it yet. 6 is wireless dongle. I saw a hand flash. I'm not sure who it was. Mr. Coleman. Okay, I'm coming. I see it. All right, 6 is wireless dongle, and then 7 will finally be powered. This is 7. Where is 3? 3 is right here. Put it in pink so you can see it. All right, what's up, Mr. Coleman?
I'm muted.
Okay, yeah, the cord? Oh, wait.
Which
Never
cord?
mind, that was the wrong cord. That was the wrong cord, never mind. I was just an old one that I had from a way long time ago. Sorry, I thought I had the wrong one to power it. Okay. never mind.
Okay. I'm glad that crisis was averted. All right.
I'm muted.
All right. Max, how you coming, sir?
Everything's set up and it's working.
Awesome. It's pretty cool, ain't it?
It is.
Awesome. All right. So Max is working. All right, keep in mind, Max, that is an actual miniature computer. All right, let me see. I'm going to unmute David. David, did you unplug the keyboard and mouse from the computer you're listening to me on?
No, I can't find what plugs are.
Okay. Well, I will post this. This video will be posted online. All right, and I ain't gonna lie, like right after I get off here, it's go time for me, so I'm gonna be busy. But I will get it posted by Friday. All right, so everybody can have it, and then actually don't hold me to that because I'm really swamped. I'm gonna shoot for Friday, but I guarantee you that the video will be online Saturday. All right, do you know where to find the video, Mr. David, in case you need it?
Yes, I'm subscribed to you.
What's that? Oh,
I'm
you're
subscribed to you.
awesome. If you have everything hooked up, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, yes, go ahead and power it, and you're good to go. Oh, Miss Beth, you asked me. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Beth. I didn't. I got flooded with questions at that point in time. Did not understand keyboard and mouse. Did they? Yes, keyboard and mouse go into the actual hub. All right. So what this hub is, it's like an extension of USB ports. This actually allows you to have 3 USB ports for 1 USB jack. So you have these 3, 1, 2, and 3. There's one over here. Okay. What is the next step? 4, 5. 5 is actually plugging in the USB or your hub. I'm sorry. Plug in your hub to your USB port of your Raspberry Pi. So you got like a macro USB that came with the hub. Give it a minute, Mr. Coleman. Sometimes it takes takes it a second. Wait, hang on. What kind of lights do you have?
What kind of lights do you have?
Lights?
Do you have any lights on your Raspberry Pi?
No.
Then something's not powered.
I mean, I don't even see any that are off.
Right here are the LEDs. Can you see this? Brush this circle. Right
See,
here.
that is...
Yeah, there's your LED. So if your hub powered, the blue line.
I mean, the hub is powered, yeah.
All right, and you got the USB going from here to here, right? This one?
I didn't see that one. Okay.
There you go.
So wait, hang on. Oh, so that's what that cable was for. That was so similar to this one. Okay. That makes more sense.
Use the cord that came with hub to go from. Okay, I know I mute you, Miss Beth. I'm not sure what you typed there. All right, what's up, Miss Beth?
I used the cord that came with the hub to go from the micro port on the hub to one of the macro ports on the Pi.
Okay, that scared me. You don't have anything powered right now, right?
No.
Okay. So that cord that came with the hub, it only fits, like, this is the USB side here. But you should have another end that only fits right here. Do you have this plugged in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Then that goes into the bottom here. And do you have your wireless dongle plugged in?
Oh, the one that came with the disc?
Yes, exactly.
No, I haven't opened that up yet.
You don't need that one right off the bat. That's a Wi-Fi. If you want to, I mean, go ahead. Let's go ahead and do it there, man. I don't want to confuse y'all.
And the dongle goes into the Pi, right?
The dongle goes into the USB Pi. Yes, that is correct. And hang on one second, Miss Beth. I'm sorry. I'm like all over the place, but I'll be right back. sorry, I got like 3 things going on at once right now. So Mr. Coleman has it working, Mr. Max has it working. Does anybody else have it fully operational yet? If you don't have a keyboard and mouse, but everything else, you can plug it in, but you're just not going to be able to do anything. Mr. Coleman, check out the Python games. And Max too, by the way. I forgot you had it working too.
Okay, I plugged the dongle into the Raspberry Pi.
Okay, you have all that. Then you can go ahead and power it. And I'm not sure, you might have to change some setting on your computer on the laptop you're using. But you should see what everybody else sees by there. Okay, so for everybody that is not operational right now, what what is it that you are missing? I want you to both tell me and write it down somewhere near me or near you. I see your comment, Miss Beth. Hang on 1 second. Okay, now I'm going to ask you. I see your question, Miss Sienna. Give me 1 second. All right, here's the thing, Miss Beth. Right? And I'm not, every computer is different, so I don't know how to tell you to do this. But since you have this Pi plugged into this laptop, right, you're going to have to find a way to switch the inputs on this laptop. I don't know how to tell you to do that on that particular laptop. That's something you're going to have to figure out. Now, Miss... Oh, my eyes are going right back. Okay, Miss Sienna's going to come right back. All right, so, David, what are you missing? Tell me what you're missing. Oh, wait, keyboard. You already did. Never mind. All right, so write that down. Let your parents know. Ask your friends. All right, you got a weekend to get a keyboard and mouse. You can probably find one at a yard sale somewhere for like $2. $2.28. All right, Isaiah, what are you missing? What are you missing that's preventing you from having your Raspberry Pi up? Hang on, I'm getting a video call from somebody. All right, give me. I didn't say anything about it. I know it's past 8 o'clock, and my rule is past 8 o'clock you get to go if you want to. But is your Raspberry Pi fully functional, Mr. Isaiah? Do you have the monitor? Can you see? Can you see this? This is what the Raspberry Pi looks like when you have it fully operational. What? Okay, do you have everything needed to get to that part? I see your question, Ms. Beth. Mr. Isaiah, do you have everything needed to get to that part? To get here? You have every cord you need, keyboard, mouse, all that stuff. Yes, Max, you're free to take off, sir. It can, but as Miss Beth is figuring out here, you need to figure out how to change the video inputs. Or wait, can you change it? You know what? Let me can, there is a way to try. That's what I'm looking up now. Oh, and keyboard. Okay. All you need is a network cable. Okay. There's one way of doing it. 1 second here. The Sienna's is working. Awesome. So, Miss Sienna, you see this, right? Awesome. Okay. I don't know what that guy's saying. Hang on. I hate hackers. I don't think that's gonna work. Oops. Okay. Whew. So I'll close out on y'all. What is Wolfram? Good question. Let me show you. I haven't figured out how to do it on and I saw your question too, Miss Beth. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, I need to add it. All right. I think I put 2 there. Yep. That's Wolfram, Miss Sienna. So I just put the function there I wanted to integrate, and it did there. Awesome, Mr. Isaiah. Thanks for letting me know. All right, then spit out the answer here. Even though that's not, don't put this and show your parents. They will probably go ape on you. It's not, the integral of 1 over x is ln x, not log of x. A little bit different properties. But you can do, I just picked integral. You can do this with a lot. Give me something you're doing, Miss Sienna. Or you can also do this. Population of USA. Wow, I spelled it completely backwards. Hopefully I can figure out my idiocracy. There you go. Okay, for pi. I'm sorry, Miss Beth. I'm sorry, darling. I didn't call you darling. All right, hang on. Take care, Mr. David. Get whatever you need for the class by next class, though, sir. And don't restart your computer just yet. All right, Miss Beth, I only got a few more minutes here, so let me try a few things here real quick. not do what I'm doing until I tell you. See. It's been a while since I've had to do this. Okay. Okay. That might be an issue here. So if it's powered, you should see lights right here, Miss Beth. You see lights there?
No, the pluggable hub thing is all lit up with its blue stripe, but I do not see a light on the Pi.
All right, so are you sure this cord here is plugged in?
Is that the USB cord?
You got two USB cords going from your hub to your Pi. You got this one.
Am I supposed to have two cords? Because I don't have two cords going from the hub to the Pi.
Yeah, okay, so you need this micro USB cord here, which looks like, what type of cell phone do you have?
Just a flip phone, but it has a micro USB thing.
Yeah, so you have something like this?
Yeah, I have two of those with me. One came with the hub and one came with the Pi.
Oh, one came with the Pi. And both are plugged in?
No, both are not plugged in. I didn't know I was supposed to plug in both.
Okay. So yeah, this one here, see, I don't like that we put this one here, but this one should be plugged in, right here. This is what
From
gives
the macro on the pluggable to the micro on the Pi?
Yes. Terminology's off, but yes, that's correct.
Okay, I have a light now.
All right, you got anything showing up on your TV monitor? Or
No, my laptop screen is still the same, but my computer might notice it's here now. No, it doesn't seem to know that it has anything plugged in.
okay. Tell you what, there is a way to hook it up like this way, doing this stuff, but I am honestly going to figure this out. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on here. All right, here's what we're going to do. Try to get another monitor, Miss Beth, for next class, like just some random old TV with an RCA cord. If that doesn't work, I got my spring break here, so I'll go over this stuff here Saturday, try to figure out how to do it the way you have it set up, all right?
Okay. I think we have an old computer monitor in storage. I'll see if I can get it.
That would be awesome. Cool. All right. So, Miss Sienna, you're working, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Hey, I got a question for you. Did anybody contact you about the competition?
No.
Dadgummit. All right. I'll see what I can do about that because I know you were interested. I'll get back to you on that next class too, Miss Sienna. All right. That's it. I'm going to bid y'all adieu. And I will talk to y'all later. Now I got to knock out physics test.